So here we are, Alexandra Park, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, North London, near Muswell Hill. Look at our lovely contrasting outfits. This will be so much easier to analyze like this. I've done it in the past where we're both wearing black. Fad and I both have a black outfit on, and it's a nightmare trying to distinguish whose leg is whose and everything.
Right, go on then. Yeah, let's see what's going on then. Beginning. So clearly just up to the top. I like that backstep passing. You know, trying to balance off of your leg there. You're going for my arm, which again I'm aware of that happening, and I think you're tricksy with that.
Yeah, if you don't mind pausing it there for a moment. I'm is in that butterfly guard. I take a lot of inspiration from the Marcelo Garcia and Gordon Ryan reverse armbar sweep, which is I was really spamming that on you over and over and over and over. Like to me, it's like I'm willing to go down the body, up the body. What I mean is down the body is that butterfly guard looking for some kind of a, you know, either elevate your hips to come underneath for leg lock. And if you drive your shoulder into me to block that, then I will come up on the reverse arm bar to try and attack that. And I'll spam it. I mean, it's not beautiful, but it can be effective.
No, absolutely.
What do you mean by spam it? Just like do it over and over and over again?
over and over. It's until you're just absolutely sick of me doing it. And when that happens, often people make mistakes because they're just like, oh, this guy's doing the same flipping technique over and over. It's really annoying. And then you make a mistake because you get frustrated, and then something good happens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to ask you, are you thinking sweep or armbar here, or whatever you can get?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
With Yusuf, the reality is it'll be a sweep if I manage to get it, which I'm not sure I will, but I doubt he's going to tap to it.
Yeah, and actually, when you do it, I'm very aware that I'm in that position where you can sweep me very easily, so I need to respond to it very quickly. All right, so where are we now? We've dug down into it. Do you want to just pause it? It's all going too quickly, isn't it?
I can always rewind.
Just rewind it a little bit. So we went from there. So here, just getting the. So you've taken yourself into the half guard, haven't you? There.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got the hand through. So I'm looking. Obviously, pause it. So just in terms of passing here, I've got my hands through your legs. I'm looking to control the top of the knee, and then dropping the hips down so I can start flattening you out, pinning your hips to the floor with my kind of, you know, which part of me, really my shoulders, I suppose, and then starting to look to pass around. Go on, roll it on. I mean, obviously you kind of, so you've shrimped out there and sat back up. Pause.
You're almost in lotus position here, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great. So just in terms of me doing going for the flatten out, you've kind of pushed away, you've kind of shrimped out, and again, it's classic jiu-jitsu. It's all about it, you know, the shrimp is so versatile and it's so important for our art that, you know, and it's about moving your hips. So you've shrimped out and then you've squared up to me. So if you take it back a couple of seconds, go on and play. So there, and then there. Stop. Right. So essentially, you know, you've gone. I'm looking to pass around, and you've squared back up to me because it's lock and key, right? So for me to pass, I need to turn, okay, and for you to kind of regard, we need to straighten back up again, so we're square on, and we're back to square one.
Yeah,
great stuff. Go on, carry on. Grabbing your head, playing around. Pause. There, pause. Okay, just take it back a couple of seconds. And just play and then get ready to pause it again. Pause. There. I love this. This is what I like about rolling with Jeff is, is playing that kind of floaty jiu-jitsu that we have. You know, I'm looking to pivot on his knee and possibly backstep. So again, you know, my hips are pivoting one way, pushing your hips down to the floor so that your hips are one way, the top half is the other, and I can then pass. So there's a lot of options there. Go and play it.
Yeah, if you actually just keep that there for a moment. This doesn't look like much, what we've got right here, but this is, I think, something that I spend a lot of time trying to teach people in classes, which is, if you look at our legs, how in this scenario here, we have you're active basing, Yusuf. So your hands are out nice and wide. You're keeping your head low and your hips high so that it's hard for me to get any kind of control. You've got a shin to shin. You've got a shin on one side and a butterfly. You're looking to backstep your left leg, and I've got a butterfly there. I'm posting on your biceps, so I'm bicep riding to make sure that you can't get it in underneath my elbows to start controlling my head. There's a lot to digest here just in this position, and it looks really floaty. I know you and I call it that really floaty thing, but we can float, we can do this because we've got 10 years of experience and we're so familiar with these positions. And I think this is kind of why I wanted to do this, was so that we could just really look at this kind of stuff. What we do with the legs here.
All right. So another thing that I would say, if you know, because you're absolutely right about all those things, and because it's interesting, you know, I'm what is it, about 76 kilos. You're considerably, I would imagine, quite a lot lighter than me, but you're able to just, you know, manage my weight. And I think, you know, a lot of it's to do, for me and for you, a lot of it's to do with our hip movement lining up with each other. So I'm keeping my hips high, but they're very much in line with yours, because I need to keep my weight central so that it allows me the kind of the movement of my arms up here, but also the movement of my hips. Because actually from here, I would like to get my left knee behind your hamstring and back step out of it and then get the pass like that. I don't even know whether we go to that. Do you want to play it and see what happens? Yeah. So there. So yeah, there. Look. All right. So it didn't happen, but you can just. There was a moment where my knee goes into the back of your hamstring, and that's kind of like, again, it's that looking for that hip movement, back step out of it, dynamic kind of passing, really.
Yeah.
But then again, you straighten back up. You straighten back up, and you know, we're back into that same position which we're in.
Oh yeah. So that again, like it's a spamming thing. Like eventually I'm going to catch it one way or another, right? Like it's annoying when you go against somebody who just does the same thing over and over, but if it's effective, I'm willing to do it. I don't care if it looks pretty or if I come across as a jerk. As far as I'm concerned, if I can get it to work for me, then I will. And this I find this really works.
Yeah, let's watch that again, because it was well executed there.
So I'm not going to get a tap from here, and I know that because if you look at Yusuf's elbow, it's way too up on my neck, right? Like he's got his hand all the way underneath my head, and I know I'm not going to get a tap. But all I have to do is to keep his shoulder low and his hip high. If I could keep his shoulder pinned against my chest, I know he can't raise his head. If he can't raise his head, then his hips are going to be able to be pulled forward on top of me and over.
Geoffrey, I think the reason why you didn't get before you done this move, you kept your hand on the outside of his elbow, your left hand.
Yes.
Was the reason for that?
Yeah, bicep riding. I'm trying to prevent an underhook. I don't mind him having an underhook, but only when I can dictate the terms of it. So okay. if you go back a little bit, Ryan, in that kind of like a very like default position where neither of us really have so much of an advantage, where we're here, he's sitting up, and we're here, I'm trying to make sure I prevent any kind of underhooks. So even if you back up a little bit, yes. So this kind of like cradling the elbow, I'll either do this or I will ride the biceps. So putting my palms on my opponent's biceps. And this is, it's a really super defensive position. And I'm trying to encourage Yusuf to put his left arm behind my head to do that like kind of backstep passing. I want him to be over there because then it's not an underhook and it gives me access to that like reverse arm bar.
Right.
Gordon Ryan does it now, but I think it was Marcelo Garcia who did it to great effect, you know, in ADCC for many years.
And I'm still aware that actually I need to get used to, you know, I get caught in a lot. I got caught in a similar position in competition recently, but he called it as a kimura, I think, and he swept me. But you know, and bloody hell, it was painful. I tell you that. The tendonitis went, you know, through the roof. But yes, I often get caught like that. It's yeah, well done, Jeff. Yeah, lovely.
But your knees are so good. Like you're straight into like, you know, right on top of me. And look, I'm trying to do the very same backstep pass you were doing.
Pause it. Yeah.
It's uncanny. Like you and I are doing pretty much the same thing to each other. I'm trying to do exactly the same backstep pass as you did.
Yeah.
And you did this amazing block here. And this is such a crazy position. What we have here is like a double weave. Because you have this like kind of almost a waiter sweep style control on my top leg, and I've weaved my right arm underneath your top leg, and I'm cupping the top of your thigh, and we get caught here for like 20 or 30 seconds if I remember correctly, or maybe not quite that long.
Can I just point out here, Fahed stuck in a reverse triangle in the background there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
So yeah, we sit here as like some kind of weird pretzel arrangement because you can't lift and I can't lift.
It's a lovely balanced sort of like position, isn't it?
Yes. So I try and go for like a guillotine here because I got to do something. I'm not comfortable here. You've got me in a little bit of trouble. So I tried to attack the head, but I knew if I let go of your leg, you were going to sweep me for sure, or you were going to come underneath for like a senkaku position.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, so I didn't even get that. Oops.
Ooh.
Oh, so that's the. It's one of those Lachlan Giles. Is that a K guard?
Yeah, yes. It's beautiful entry. Just a beautiful entry.
So the last couple of years we've been doing leg lock classes with Ed Ingemel's Party Bear, and you know he does like PhD kind of studies on these positions. They're fascinating, and you know I think. After sort of like a couple of years, really kind of concentrating on the leg lock game, and I suppose just developing the ability to kind of like roll upside down and that spatial awareness, you know. So I did. I thought, yeah, this is nice. So go on, play it through. So let's see it. So I do a kind of Granby roll, or is it an Imanari roll, or something like that? There.
Don't go all the way through.
Stop. Yeah. So my top leg, I'm looking to. I've got that on the inside of your hip, and actually, So I'm looking to attack your right leg from here. Okay, so I'm controlling your hip. Your right foot is down by my other hip. It's down by my hip. Sorry. So I think for you, you're kind of. It becomes complicated, your movement. I'm locking up your hip position and your foot at the moment. And that means that pressure is going to start, you know, kind of occurring on your knee. Got to play it through. So there, so I've brought you down. Okay, there. All right, and this is how you escape, isn't it, from here?
Yeah.
You've got...
How did you escape there?
So I know you're a great leg locker, and my attitude on this is if you're in doubt with a leg lock, always take inside position. always try and seek for that inside leg position. So if you rewind a little
bit. What do you mean by inside position?
If you rewind a bit, I'll show you what that means. So you see, watch what I do with my left leg. So here I'm standing, right? And I know that if you lock your knees together, and I am still on the outside of that with my left leg, with the outside leg.
Like with here,
With that leg, if I know if that is left on the outside and you pinch your knees together and start rolling me, I'm in trouble. So I abandon the idea that I'm going to stay standing here, and I drive my left leg in nice and tight so that I give myself enough space to turn into you. Watch, see?
Yeah,
right there? You see? So now I can split your legs open using that leg. I'm basing out on my hands so I don't go all the way to the floor with my butt. And so I can create enough room that I can just escape that.
Yeah.
You see, if I had waited and not brought that back leg in, and you had pinched your knees together, for sure, your heel hook all day. You're gonna do that K guard, that Lachlan Giles heel hook.
This is the reason I have watched this video, because I know we talked about that after we rolled, and I've watched it a few times because I need to sort of like try and start committing it to my own memory as as a defense to the position as well. It's lovely. You've slipped inside. It's almost, I feel like it's almost counterintuitive as you're moving, but
it is. So what happens with a lot of people in this kind of K-guard system is that they try and run away, like, because that is your instinct. Like, you feel attacked, your knee is getting turned, you're like, oh, so you try and run away, and in running away, your legs open, they split open, and it gives the person time, in this case you, time to lock your legs together and pinch them together and keep my leg nice and tight in there.
Yeah.
So if I feel I'm in jeopardy, I'm not going to pull away. I'm not going to give you that distance with my legs to let you lock on. I'm going to close the distance and make sure I'm inside.
Yeah, that's right. And so we become even tighter and entangled, and actually we become very much in a neutral position, even though we're all very complicated.
So if you can reverse it, Ryan, because there's another level of defense if I'm not able to get inside. Right. So in this case, I was able to bring my left leg in and start peeling through to create distance to turn. But if I don't, and you had just, stop there. Say if I hadn't been able to bring that in and you brought your left leg up and pinched them together, again, I'm not going to run away, because if I run away, you're just going to get nice, good control. If I lose that inside position, I'm actually going to turn my butt towards your face and sit down into your face.
Yeah.
So that I'm not going to have that. I'm not going to give you the opportunity to straighten that leg out, because if the leg is straight, I'm going to get heel hooked, right?
Yeah.
If I can drop my butt into your face, it's going to buy me some time to start unwinding your feet with my hands.
Yeah. And then straightening out. Yeah. So I've got in the other video that with Farhead, there is an example of me actually completing the submission from the K-guard as well.
All right, well let's watch that. If I'd like to see that.
Should we? We'll see. Can we watch the end of this?
Yeah, we'll watch it. So look, I could tell. Look, you're trying to go inside Senkaku. It's the reverse X. I know that's what you're good at, and there's no way I'm going to let you do that, because if I get in there and entangled in there, I'm toast.
Can I just say as well? One of the things that I've just been really practicing is just to make sure I try and keep your feet off the floor. So if you just reverse it back slightly, back. So look, around here. So go back a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what? I had both of my feet on the outside. Yeah, a little bit back, a bit more. Yeah. I think it's around somewhere around here. But anyway, there. So
now I can see you.
I'm always trying to keep. I'm finding, if I've got a foot, if I'm holding a foot, I'm always trying to keep maybe the other foot off of the floor as well, because then you're always off balance. You're always on your backside, countering me holding your feet up, and it's it almost seems like a silly secret in jiu-jitsu to get sweeps that, if you've got a hand on the foot, or you're kind of just keeping one of the feet up with your own foot, and you just suddenly come up, it's like, 2 points.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, just carry on. So, but there's that floating around that I'm keeping you off balance. I'm trying to.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Beautiful. Moving right to deep half.
Yeah, I love deep half.
This is just beautiful. So I'm countering deep half because I know if I let you pull me on top of you, I'm in trouble.
Pause it. Sorry, so go back slightly. So I think, stop there. So, this was like at the beginning, Jeff, where, I managed to get my foot under your foot, and we were in that kind of, neutral position where, you went for the, what's that called? Bravo, I don't know. When you would grab my head at the beginning, and I hooked your foot. This is a very similar position. I think I was trying to do exactly the same thing again. But didn't work, obviously, because you've got control of my arm, and I can't get my foot underneath yours at this point. So
yeah, and by doing what I'm doing here with the gable grip is I know you can only turn one way.
Yeah.
Right? I know you could only turn to your right. Because you can't turn to your left because I've got a hold of that arm, and you're trying to turn to the left to come up on the deep half.
Yeah.
As long as I've got that really secure grip on your shoulder, I know you can't turn to your left. And if I give, and as long as I'm aware that turning to your right is an issue, which I think you're probably going to do in a moment, I can take care of that when it happens. But for now, I am happy in this position.
Play on, because I think I get quite creative in how I get out of this. So there, you're right. So, whoops, stop.
Oh yeah.
All right. So
I love it.
So could you slowly rewind it?
It's beautiful stuff.
So, and there's a lot of hand movement. So go back a bit further. So I'm facing one way, and I think that the only way for me to escape this is I'm turning that way, but then I'm swapping my hands there, and then I'm trying to, I don't even know where this is leading to at this particular moment. This is just getting out of you having my arm and feeling like I'm in trouble. I thought that this was a safer position to be in.
It's beautiful.
You're squaring up.
I mean, this is you could, if you had continued with that, there's maybe a back take. There's like a kind of a bizarre berimbolo, like half berimbolo position.
But and I think that this is a thing though, that having sparred with you for this many years, we're comfortable enough to be creative and explore a lot of the rules of what we've learned. So yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
And then you go all prison rules on me. Oh dear.
Yeah, and I think at this point, because I saw you turn your back and you were kind of getting a bit lazy, I knew you couldn't see me, and so I thought I'd try and jump on you there. But
yeah, absolutely. Well,
as two older gentlemen, we have to be a little bit kinder to each other. So I thought,
but it was great. I loved it. It was a great role.
It was really good.
And it is. It's. I think it's in many ways like an exchange of ideas. We've kind of. And analysing it here now, it's fascinating, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of content for only 2.5 minute sparring session, right? So I think neither of us are the type of people to enter into a sparring match and just go into close guard and work close guard for 5 minutes. We're both going to try and work lots of interesting stuff, new stuff.
That's boring.
Nothing wrong with close guard, but
no, but this kind of being a bit creative is good fun. Yeah.